the Pence card, they're trying to claim that Professor John Eastman in the California disbarment proceeding and former Assistant Attorney General Jeffrey Clark were submitting ideas that had beyond frivolous, that it was fraud for them to even claim that it was even possible for the vice president to decide which electoral certificates to read and count. It's the so-called Pence card at the time as it was being discussed. Of course, Pence didn't play it, but and said he didn't have authority to do so at the very last minute, the day of. Interesting timing when he was acting like he was going to in the build-up to it. But that vice presidential constitutional power, not only is it not fraud to claim it's existed, not only is it not frivolous to claim it's existed, the better weight of evidence says it in fact exists. The Constitution itself says it's the vice president who reads and counts the electors. And that's how it was interpreted by the likes of Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams. And Thomas Jefferson did it while he was vice president, and to make himself president, by the way. John Adams did it while he was vice president to make himself president, by the way. It was recognized in the 12th Amendment that kept that language in after they had exercised that power. It was presumed to be appropriate for the vice president in 1876. It's why the House of Representatives responded by filibustering. Like people said, well, what if you don't think the vice president should have that power? Well, you could do what they did in 1876. Filibuster until you get an independent commission to everybody agree. That's how you're going to resolve it. But the idea that it's fraud or frivolous to suggest the vice president can have such power goes directly against the plain language of the Constitution, directly against the founders of the Constitution when they were in a position to act on it, directly against the earliest precedents and the only precedents set about it, precedents that have been undisturbed, and scholars from the left to the right have acknowledged it all the way going back to Al Gore in 2000. So the idea that this could be frivolous or fraud, or so frivolous that it is fraud,
to the point of disbarring an attorney. I mean, it's
a ludicrous claim. They're relying on the fraud and the frivolity is what the bar of D.C. and the bar of California is doing.